On to our Miata Trophy.
For which the cars will be released almost as quickly as they're taken off the previous race down the pit lane. So this is how the grid will form up based on the finishing order in the previous race. On pole position, number 8, Aidan Hills, who made a storming start and came through to challenge Paul O'Brien. Don't mean Paul O'Brien, I mean Paul O'Neill. Paul O'Brien is somebody else completely different. So Paul O'Neill on the outside of the front row, pretty chuffed with himself to have come second on his first race for quite a while. And so 8 and 29 is the front row. The second row, number 5, John Langridge, and number 17 is Will Morris. 5 and 17, row 2. Row 3, it's a standing start grid like the race we've just seen. So they'll come out, go round on the green flag lap, then come and stop on the grid, and then the red lights will come on and go out and they'll be racing. Third row, number 19, David Chapman, and number 1, Declan Lee, 19 and 1. The fourth row, 33, Dylan Stepney, and 88, Rowan Lundy, 33 and 88, row 4. Row 5, 26, Drew Fletcher, and 2, John Robinson, 26 and 2, row 5. Row 6, number 4, Nicholas Stott, and 42, Carly Atkins, 4 and 42, row 6. Row 7, 62, Kevin Sylvain, and 55, Simon Fleet, 62 and 55, row 7. Row 8, 28, Jack Hodges, and 40, Ray Worley, 28 and 40, row 8. Row 9, 68, Martin Heath, at 121, Gary Smith, 68 and 121, row 9. Row 10, 119, Liz Walton, and number 3, Judd Stain, 119 and 3 is row 10. Row 11, number 9, Duncan Harris, and number 24, Marcus Roswell Potts, 9 and 24, row 11. And bringing up the rear, number 7, Alex Miller, who retired quite early on in the earlier race. So there we are. One race cars disappear back into the paddock via the pit lane, and onto the grid come the next one. So the earlier race was a good battle between Aidan Hills and Paul O'Neill. Aidan saying afterwards that he doesn't race these cars, this particular type of car, much these days, but has over the years enjoyed considerable success racing Mazda MX-5s. So hoping that this will produce another good result, another battle between him and Paul O'Neill. And John Langridge may get involved, Declan Lee could get involved, as could David Chapman, and Will Morris. So the car's setting off on the green flag lap. Aidan Hills or Paul O'Neill? What's your money on?
I kind of fancy Aidan Hills in this one. I think
well, he went really well in the early race, yes.
He really, really did. And I think despite a lot of love for Paul O'Neill, you have to give him a lot of credit because he put in a really, really good performance, and both of them really deserved a win. No matter who won in that race, it ended up being Aidan Hills. Then both of them really deserved all the credit, and of course John Langridge, who had a really good race there. Yeah, he came from P3. I believe did he come from P3?
No, he was further back than that.
He was further back.
No,
I think he was a bit further back than that. But he did make his way through the field. Managed to get a little bit of luck there from Will Morris, who gave him a little bit of a good gift. Sure that he came with a bouquet of flowers as well. Yeah, that front row is going to be quite entertaining to keep an eye out for. So I hope there's some people. I think I do see a couple of people plopped on the entry of Redgate Corner. So do expect some really good overtaking opportunities there. I'm sure they'll absolutely love seeing those MX-5 charging at them at what, 90 miles an hour off the red lights.
John Langridge, actually, you're quite right, started from the fourth row. And alongside him was number 7, Alex Miller, who starts this race from the back of the grid because he retired from the earlier race. So, we know that John Langridge goes well because of where he finished in the earlier race, but Alex Miller, somebody to watch coming from the back of the grid.
Absolutely. So we're now just seeing our live pictures heading through that final chicane section of Roberts. And then they'll start to line up on the grid. Standing start. There is Aidan Hills. There is Paul O'Neill, John Langridge lining up behind him. Will Morris, will he be able to take a podium as the final couple of cars roll up to the grid?
And still they come. It's become quite a popular series, this Miata Trophy. Do we have a gap alongside number 119? I think we might have.
It does look like that would be Liz Walton if there is a car missing. No, that's Gary Smith. So the red lights are on. And we go racing for the penultimate time here at Donington Park today. Decent start from the front row there, but it looks like it's going to be Aidan Hills trying to cover off Paul O'Neill. O'Neill will have to try and fight it around the outside, and I think John Langridge is going to try and fancy his chances, but look at that 3 wide going in towards red gate. I think the 7 was offered a push, and he has been offered too much of a push, and that was Alex Miller going off into the gravel. Some more woes for Miller as they power their way down in these little Miatas down towards Old Hairpin Corner. More carnage at the back there, but they're just keeping it nice and clean just about.
So it's the same as before as it was in the previous race. Hills against O'Neill as 1 or 2 cars work their way through from poor grid positions or partly from the pit lane, and out front at the moment it is number 8 Aidan Hills who holds sway, but only just over number 29 Paul O'Neill, as the two of them try and work their way to open up a gap straight away, and then they can concentrate on the battle between themselves rather than being involved with anybody else. Now, what that dusty moment, what effect that had on the progress of Alex Miller from the back of the grid, we'll get an idea of at the end of the lap as they come into the chicane. Then for the first time the leaders through Robert's chicane, and Aidan Hills, Paul O'Neill, neat and tidy, the pair of them go through in the first 2 places. In 3rd place we have John Langridge then. In 4th place is Morris, number 17. 5th is Lee. 6th is Stepney. 7th is Chapman. And the one I was looking for, Miller, number 7, is down in 19th place after that moment. So quite a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, seriously, there is a lot of work to do there for Alex Miller. He is going to be right at the back there, but I'm sure he'll be able to get those moves done. We know that he's fast, and we know that he can make up the time, but will he be able to, how far can he go up the grid? Just seeing those battles further down, but this is what we were all waiting for. Paul O'Neill's first attack on Aidan Hills. It doesn't come just yet. I'm just wondering if these guys are aware they're going to have the short race. That's the 17 there, right up to the gravel trap. Will Morris trying to look around the outside of Langridge there, and it's going to be continuing here as Declan Lee tries to get his nose, and he's absolutely done it. Oh, there's somebody up there. Is that going to be the number? It's the number 8. I think that's Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, he has gone off, and that's given Paul O'Neill an absolute gift and a bouquet of flowers. I'm sure you put the bow on top as well.
So this is a case of over the hills and far away goes Paul O'Neill as they come up to complete their 2nd lap. It is Paul O'Neill leading. John Langridge therefore now in 2nd place. Declan Lee number 1 in 3rd place. In 4th place number 17 Will Morris. In 5th place is 33. 5th is 33. That's Dylan Stepney, and the effect of all that on Aidan Hills as he's come through in 11th place. So looks like a simple error that on the part of Aidan Hills. Didn't put a wheel wrong in the earlier race, but now he's blotted his copybook early on. So Paul O'Neill at the end of the lap was leading his mate John Langridge by 0.766 of a second. Will it be a friendly battle for the lead, or will they get the knives out and really have a serious go?
Well, it is going to come to a bit of halt there. There you go, the shout for the safety car here, because something has seemingly happened. Let's have a look. There is a car on the exit of the final chicane. That is well, of course, it's a green car, as you can see from our live pictures. But I believe that is going to be the number 2 of. Let me get you a full.
Well, number 2 hasn't come through. And that's John Robinson.
There you go. John Robinson started 15th in the field. So again, one of the possible mid-pack incidents. But everyone now respecting the yellow flags, which are being shown on our live feed. You see the flashing board there on the right side of your screen. And so the safety car will back everyone up. And this will give Paul O'Neill a little bit of a break here. He's really trying to really calm himself now, and he's just going to have to, in a way, keep the momentum up. Confirmation: it was John Robinson out of this race, beached in the gravel trap. So how long will that take to get out of the gravel trap? We do have some CCTV cameras focus on that, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. But O'Neill from Langridge, from Lee, from Morris, from Stepney, from Chapman, Lundy, Stott and Fletcher, and then Aidan Hills completes the top 10. So his trip along the Donington beach, bearing in mind there is no beach around here anywhere. I don't know what would be the nearest beach. I'm not going to question that, but yeah, Aidan Hills decided to go on for a beach ride, and unfortunately fell from the top spots of the rankings down to 10th.
I think you'd have to go into Wales to get to the nearest beach from here. I'm trying to work it out. Or go east. Great Yarmouth. That's my best offering.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere like North Wales or something. I can't really think, to be honest. I'm not really a northerner. I'm more of a southerner. I'm well on my depth here.
Well, you're in the Midlands now, and that's sort of halfway house, I suppose. It's south of Manchester and Liverpool, but north of many other places of civilization, like Birmingham.
The most northern I've been is either here or Birmingham, so I'm sure that MSVR will be taking it a little bit further.
Well, whichever beach you want to go to, that Mazda's no longer in it. It's out of it, and we should be able to resume racing. Not at the end of this lap, safety car lap. We'll get one more safety car lap. Oh no, we're going to. Yes, we are going to get one more safety car. I thought for a moment the lights had gone out, but the lights are still flashing on the top of the safety car, so we'll have one more safety car lap. There's 8 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock as the cars go through this time. So by the end of a safety car lap, which takes a minute and 30 seconds, no, 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so, it's going to be
about 6 minutes.
About 6 minutes, 5.5, 6 minutes to go to sort out the result of this, whether Paul O'Neill can be vanquished.
I think he'll be hoping this final safety car lap will take as long as possible, but of course I don't think a lot of the fans, the spectators are still out there to our right hand side of our commentary box. They're so thankful for them staying and watching us kind of have to deal with a bit of an issue where no cars were out on track, but they have stayed for the Miata Trophy. Of course, if you do want to stay a little bit longer, we have got one more race, which will be the Production GTI Championship, which provided a really good race in the of course, first race that we had. So if you are willing to stay for that one, please do, because that's going to be quite the thriller. But the BMW M4 safety car still out there, but I believe the lights are going to be going off in just a moment here. And we are still ticking down the clock in. It's taking quite the quick route here.
Yes.
So I was surprised we didn't get down to those 6 minutes, but the safety car has gone forward. There it is. The lights are off, and all the focus is now on one man and one man only, and is Mr. Paul O'Neill, the ITV commentator, presenter, whatever you want to call him, ex-touring car driver. Will we go racing once again? 6.5 minutes for Paul O'Neill to hang on. He's absolutely got an incredible start. Langridge is now going to be on the defensive of Declan Lee there, looking to the outside line, and that is going to help him help Paul O'Neill out drastically.
I think it's fair to say that Paul O'Neill has probably done more safety car restarts than any of the others behind him, so he certainly knew how to complete that one effectively. He was just over a second clear of John Langridge when he went over the line. Fully entitled to be there, nothing wrong with that. Declan Lee in third place. Of course, in fourth place, number 17, Will Morris. And the car's now streaming through, well, the midfield streaming through the old hairpin, kicking up the dust. But although one car got into the gravel, kicked up the dust, it's back on the track, so no damage done there. But Paul O'Neill really getting the hammer down and pulling away. And by the end of this next lap, I think we'll see for certain that he is going to end up as the winner of this second Miata Trophy race of the day, with the mistake of Aidan Hills. See whether he can get further up from 10th, which is where he is at the moment after that mistake while leading at Coppice. So down into the Roberts chicane comes Paul O'Neill to complete the 6th lap. We have 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes on the clock. There's no way that Aidan Hills is going to get back on terms with the leader, even with another safety car. John Langridge is second, Declan Lee is third, Will Morris is fourth. In fifth place, upper place, comes number 19, David Chapman. Behind David Chapman, we've got number 88, also upper place, and that is Rowan Lundy. Behind Lundy, we've got in 7th place. So he's gained 3 places, actually, Aidan Hills on that lap. So Aidan Hills from 10th to 7th. With the prospect of gaining more places on the next lap, but I can't even see him. He might just make it to the top 3, but I don't think there's enough time left. There's 4.5 minutes. There's number 19 running wide into the gravel at the old hairpin. That being David Chapman. David Chapman in 5th place. I don't know if that's lost him a place or two as a result of that moment in the gravel.
Yeah, I think Aidan Hill was trying to go up the inside of David Chapman. So unfortunately for Chapman, we got pushed out there.
Oh, did he?
At the expense of Aidan.
Physically. It was a contact.
I think there was a tiny tag.
Oh dear.
But I think Aidan Hill will get away with that. So it does look like now he's going to be moving up the places here, but only maybe a 4th place will be possible here. But they had their way through once again, and that number 8 is still continuing to keep pushing. Next time it's going to be Nick Stott, I think, in that battle for P6. So to continue to push.
Declan Lee now has the fastest lap of the race at 122.106, but just as an interesting comparison, Paul O'Neill, fastest lap of the race, 122.622 when it was done. His next lap, a 122.628, just 6 thousandths of a second slower, so that's consistency for you. Paul will no doubt say he's extracting the absolute maximum from the car, and he's doing a great job about it. 3 minutes and a quarter on the clock, and behind him, Langridge, Lee, Morris, Lundy, Stott, Hills, Fletcher, Chapman and Atkins complete the top 10. And the progress being made by Alex Miller, number 7, has only brought him so far up to 12th place. There we got number 1, Declan Lee, in the middle of a battle with number 17, Will Morris. But they're fighting amongst themselves, not giving themselves any chance of catching the fast disappearing into the distance Paul O'Neill. When he comes through this time, he'll be starting his penultimate lap. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Out of the chicane he comes. His lead at the start of the lap was 1.3 seconds. It's going to be rather more than that this time through, I think. Through they go. 1.3 as a gap becomes 3.3. So 2 seconds opened up in that battle. Paul O'Neill pulling away from the battle of 3.36 seconds is the gap to Declan Lee, with Will Morris in 3rd place, and John Langridge has dropped down to 4th.
Yeah, big battles there, and had a moment where had Declan Lee, but I think he's just managed to survive that attack from Will Morris. But it looks like Aidan Hills is really getting in the wars. You can see the pictures getting pretty close. I think that's going to be Will Morris slipping it up the inside there. Declan Lee, the number 1, is now got to retaliate, and John Langridge is also trying to get involved. He's poking his nose up the inside of the number 1. He's going to try the outside, head up towards Schwantz curve and in towards the right-hander there of McLean's. Is it going to be Lee? Is it going to be the number 17 of Morris? So it looks like it's going to be Lee this time around, keeping that 2nd place, and Declan Lee will definitely deserve it if he does keep that 2nd place, because he has come from 6th place on the grid. So it's O'Neill from Lee, from Morris from Langridge, with Lundy in P5, who's had a decent decent race from so far. In fact, he came from 8th place, so he's gained up 3 places. And then it's going to be Hill from Stott, from Fletcher, from Chapman, from Aitken last time around. I'm sure that'll update over the time in line because there's been so many changes over the course of this lap.
Leader on to his last lap then, Paul O'Neill in front, and behind him the order was 17 Will Morris, 1 Declan Lee, and then number 5 John Langridge. But that order, as Adam was intimating, isn't going to stay like that right the way through to the end of the lap. It may end up the same, but it won't be the same all the way through the lap, I don't suppose. But Paul O'Neill is running away with the race now, like taking candy from kids, this Paul. So through the old hairpin he goes, and then this 3-way tussle for the honour of joining Paul on the podium. And at the moment it is headed by number 17 Will Morris, Declan Lee, last year's champion in car number 1. And are they being caught by the next group of cars? It may not matter even if they are, but certainly Will Morris in 2nd place now, number 17, seems to be prizing open a gap to the following car, which is the green number 1 car, Declan Lee. So up towards Coppice they go for the final time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ronan Lundy, got a massive moment there out of one of the previous corners, but he's keeping his P6 at this moment in time. But here's the man of the moment, Paul O'Neill. He finished 2nd, just about. Couldn't catch Aidan Hills, but it's his time to shine here. He crosses the timing line, and he'll take victory here at Donington. He'll be absolutely ecstatic, but across the line, it will now be Will Morris from Declan Lee, who finishes in 2nd and 3rd. Brilliant racing from them, and John Langridge will finish home in 4th. Aidan Hill with a good fight back from 10th all the way up to 5th, and then Ronan Landy, who started in 8th, he managed to put in a 6th place finish. But what about that, Ian?
That was a great race. Good driving. Shame for Aidan Hills to recover to 5th place was good going, but he shouldn't have been there in the first place. He should have been still out front, but for that mistake at Coppice. So Paul O'Neill the winner by 5.6 seconds from Will Morris, number 17. 3rd, number 1, Declan Lee. 4th, number 5, John Langridge. 5th, number 8, Aidan Hills. In 6th place, number 88, Rowan Lundy. In 7th place, number 26, Drew Fletcher. In 8th place, number 4, Nicholas Stott. In 9th place, number 42, Carly Atkins. And in 10th place, number 7, who got into the top 10 in the end, number 7, Alex Miller. In 11th place, number 33, Dylan Stepney. In 12th place, number 55, Simon Fleet. In 13th place, number 19, David Chapman, who lost out towards the end there. In 14th place, number 28, Jack Hodges. In 15th place, number 62, Kevin Sylvain. In 16th place, number 40, Ray Worley. In 17th place, number 68, Martin Heath. In 18th place, number 24, Marcus Roswell-Potts. In 19th place, number 119, Liz Walton. In 20th place, number 9, Duncan Harris. Just the one retirement. Number 21, or 121, Gary Smith. No, sorry, number 2 was John Robinson in 21st place. Right, so we might have an opportunity to hear words of wisdom and pleasure from Paul O'Neill, shaking the hands of everybody around. The fact he's wearing mini challenge overalls and not wearing a BRDC badge caused some concern.
Stand into pit lane, and what a performance. He's right in front of me. Paul O'Neill, you are a Miata Trophy winner. Not too bad, eh?
Unbelievable. Yeah, so many people have helped out this weekend, and it's been a long time coming, winning a race. You know, I haven't won a race for a long time, but that was special, that, to push these boys around who are so good. Aidan's a proper peddler, and so are the rest of these guys. It was a pleasure to race with them, and it was clean and it was awesome. It was just lovely. My friends and family were here, and to see all the marshals clapping and stuff was just the best ever thing. So I've had a good old day. I didn't think I'd win that, to be honest, because your boy's quick, but the team was saying, let's go one better, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'll have a go. Once I got in the lead, I just thought I've got to do it, but no, it's great. And yeah, just want to shout out to all these drivers and everyone here. They've been amazing and really welcomed me into the paddock. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely, of course you did see that. I'm sure you did see that off from Aidan. What was that like? Just seeing him just kind of going off, and it was a bit of a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I think we had a little bit more pace because our team were just trying to, make sure the pressures were right in the car. And then Aidan was in front of me, and I told him let's get on with it. But he seemed to just understeer, took too much speed, and I think he might have had a problem. I don't know. Listen, he's the boy in Super Cup, so for him to make a mistake, I would think it was probably some kind of problem with the car, because that boy's very good, very good.
And then what about that kind of safety car? Because I'm guessing you felt the pressure at that point.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on safety cars, and all I could think of was when I'm in commentary in ITV, I always say, don't do this and don't do that. And I'm the worst safety car restarter, but that was the best safety car restart I could have ever done. I just jinked right, pretended to weave my tyres and went. I think it was John that was behind me, who was my teammate. I'm not too sure who was there at the time, and I was gutted because I thought we could go away, but I needed to win that for the team. Honestly, I can't tell you how many times and things they've done on Friday for me to make this car a winner. So Paul Sheard, Alex Miller Motorsport, Ray Wormsley give us some things for the car, and it's probably illegal, I'm joking. So yeah, it's just a left beer that he was drinking last night that's illegal.
So amazing. I'll let Paul go and enjoy his win, but I think we've got...
Well, we've got the cars on the green flag lap for the next race.
John Langridge, I think, is next. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Will Morris. So, not too bad, a second place for you, but what was it like out there? Because Paul looked very, very quick, you just couldn't catch him. I think it was the guys around him, was that right?
Yeah, he was super quick all weekend. I mean, he got a gap, and we just ended up fighting with John and Deck all race, and that was good, but can't catch Paul.
Was it, how was it just trying to get those moves through the field? Do you think it was crucial to just get those moves done, or was it a game of chess?
Oh yeah, definitely crucial the whole time. Got to make sure that you're ahead, especially with a short race. Otherwise you can get caught out, especially with the safety car, and you might not get enough time to make the work and move forward. So definitely crucial.
Do you think this can maybe build your momentum for future races? Of course, you've had 2 races in that now. Do you think you could maybe go on and win with some more?
That's the aim, hopefully, yeah. Well, this will be a snowball effect, maybe come Snetterton, but we'll see.
Absolutely brilliant. I'll bring over Declan Lee in just a moment. He's just having a chat there with Paul O'Neill.
Can you hear the Adam? The race is about to start.
I can hear, so I'll just quickly sum it up. Brilliant third place. Yeah, sum it up, really.
I'm really happy I had Paul O'Neill's voice in my head giving the commentation, so I just got to try and follow him. I've got to think with my championship hat on, and I think I did that really well. Shout out to Hannah watching at home.
Brilliant.
Right,
So
the cars are heading into Redgate now, so the race underway, the final race of the day.